Ladies and gentlemen, boy, my heart goes out to people in Jackson, Mississippi, because it just seems like this water crisis is endless. And the sad part is, I bet you a year or two from now, they'll still be dealing with this crisis, just like Flint. Mississippi governor extends Jackson water emergency order. So it was declared an emergency back in August. Many of you remember that. So, Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves has extended the state of emergency over the water crisis in the capital city of Jackson. On the same day the emergency declaration was set to expire, Reeves said the state of emergency he declared on August 30th would remain in place until November 22nd. Reeves and Jackson City Mayor, they have traded barbs over how much control the state and city will have to decide on a private firm to operate Jackson's water system over the long term. City officials say the operator will be in place by November 17th, although a plan has yet to be finalized. Reeves he's extending the state of emergency would allow for a 5-day transition period between the state's management team and a private firm that will be chosen to operate the water system over the long term. Jackson's water system has been it's been a problem for these folks for decades. I was just listening to some of the stories. They said technically the water problem in Jackson has been going on for 100 years. They knew way back 100 years ago that there were problems. So you really think about it, it was ample time for them to do something in this whole time period. They could have gotten many things done. But see, this is poor leadership. The people in charge are, good at squandering the money and taking from everybody. But when it comes down to maintaining stuff, they don't maintain nothing. And this is proof of it right here. So, they also were going through a drought down there. And that did not help the water situation at all. But when late August hit, they got hit with a big, heavy rainfall, which made the situation even worse at the city's main treatment plant, leaving many customers without running water. Jackson had already been under a boiled water advisory since July because of the state health department found cloudy water that could make people ill. Jackson's water crisis left most homes and businesses in the city without running water for several days in late August and early September. Since that time, the state invested nearly $13 million to prop up Jackson's failing water system. Wow. Oh, boy. Distribute water and restore clean running water to residents of the city, Reeves said. Now, I was listening to some of the residents, and some of them said their water never looked cleared. It was still brown for many residents. And even the EPA was telling the folks it was safe to use the water, and the water was still brown. The problem is, y'all, you got your people that are making the decisions don't live there. These are outsiders trying to tell the people on the inside what's safe and what's not safe. In the meantime, they're not touching that water. They don't have to smell the water. They don't have to look at the water. So Yeah, they can make any old decision and could care less whether it's in your best interest or not. They don't really technically have nothing at stake with Jackson. And that's the problem. As long as they don't really have to deal with the situation, they don't care about the rest of you. But they're the ones making all the decisions and calling all the shots. And they're the reason why nothing is getting done. Those very people are the ones why this whole thing has gone on for over 100 years. Your leadership, look no further than them. So, ladies and gentlemen, $13 million with this kind of crisis is really not enough money at all. It really is not. So, Jackson's failed water system distribute water and restore clean running water to residents of the city, Reeves said. President Joe Biden approved a federal emergency declaration on August 30th. Volunteers and the National Guard distributed millions of bottles of water. Now, if y'all remember, back in August when they were giving that water out, they ran out of water. If you remember, I remember that happening. And water pressure has been restored. So the city at one point in time, the city boiled water notice was lifted in mid September, but many residents were still skeptical because of the way the water was still looking coming out of the faucet. The EPA announced in October that it was investigating whether Mississippi state agencies have discriminated against Jackson by refusing to fund water system improvements in the city's 150,000, where more than 80% of the residents are Black and about a quarter of the population lives in poverty. Of course they did. So, two congressional committees have also started a joint investigation into the crisis. So, the mayor's office declined to comment on Friday. You know what? Instead of wasting time with investigations that always lead to nothing, why don't y'all just put the funding together to get that entire water system replaced? It's amazing how y'all can get money together real quick for Ukraine, but when a crisis is going on right in your backyard, you need to study, you need to put committees together. No, see, this is when y'all need to sit down and pass bills for billions of dollars to get this situation fixed. But we know we can't count on you to do the right thing because you didn't even fix Flint, Michigan. And that really sets the tone of how government works in America. When it's anybody else, you are ready to jump up and help the people at the borders. You're ready to send money to Ukraine. You're ready to house people from Afghanistan. But when your people have a real immediate need, we can't get you off your butt to do a thing but put committees together and investigations. Nobody wants to hear that. Get the money together to help these people and also put some funding together to cover those bills. Those folks should not have to pay for money. They expect them to pay for water they can't use. Hello, does this make any common sense? Y'all, please tell me what you think about this video. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.